Hello. Welcome to How About New. On this one, we're gonna jump into the prophecies that are people keep talking about the end times. The end times of who? That's the question. Can you force the end times? Can you force prophecies? I don't think so. If that's what you're doing, then isn't that a ritual, not a prophecy? That's just my opinion. If you're forcing it. We're going to jump into that. We're going to jump into the ideology of some different things, different cultures, different countries. I'm not going to jump back too far on you. Not on this one. But figure out what's really going on. Because everybody seems confused because of the confusion. We'll see what's going on. And we'll explore it together so you guys can understand. Maybe it'll open your minds to thinking. I kept seeing a bunch of different videos though. What else are we going to get into? We're going to get into... the influencers that are pushing their different ideologies and their, I guess I would say that, I don't know, their influence on others. I don't know if any of them are exactly telling anybody to go do anything, but they have people following them, and that creates a mindset, I guess. I don't know. What else are we gonna talk about? How this stuff connects to mythology a little bit. Not much, like I said. I don't want to jump on that too much. Because that'll mess with everybody's head and they'll be like, what? And theology. Because it seems like that's what's going around. But anyways, let's jump right into the research. Like I said, we only pick us. We pick our belief and our ideology and our understanding of everything over above all else, especially other people's opinions or chaos. But here we are in the AI matrix of AI, one of the oldest tools ever. Are we going to celebrate its birthday too? Its glorious birthday. Anyways. As of 2026, about 85% of the global population identifies with a religious group. We went over this before. Jesus, Allah, karma and rebirth. Karma and rebirth? Karma on yourself and then rebirth? Is that what they think? That's what it sounds like. Karma. Unaffiliated, which is secular, non-religious, so I had to check into what that even means. I guess they're nothing. I don't know. They are, but I guess they're not worried with it. They're just going on with their days. Which I think is most people. Especially in the United States. In other countries, it's different because, I mean, they've always had wars regarding religion. So, beliefs. You choose what we believe or bye-bye. Buddhism, which is enlightenment, which is probably one of the closest ones, but it's a little bit more than that. 500 million. Buddhism, well, the enlightenment process is a lot. Here, we'll sum it down for everyone. That way it's easier for some people to understand. We'll talk about this real quick. The Eastern spiritual meaning, awakening, in religions like Buddhism and Hinduism, enlightenment is a state of supreme spiritual realization and liberation from the cycle of suffering and rebirth. So this is very, very, and this is from the Smith area. Smart History? I thought that said, what? Smart History. Okay, not Smith. Okay, Smart History. Do both of them believe that? Karma and rebirth. So they believe in still coming back. Hinduism and Buddhism. Hinduism, Buddhism. Let's dive into both real quick. They believe, Buddhism believes in Bodhi and Nirvana. This is described as wake up to the true nature of reality. It involves ending to three poisons, greed, hatred, and delusion, and realizing that there is no permanent independent self. That has a lot of meaning to it. That's very important. Because right now everyone needs to wake up and realize what's going on. No, we don't want to check into that. Hinduism. Moksha. I'm probably butchering these words, but that's how I say them. Because I don't speak. I only speak English. For now. While often compared to Buddhist enlightenment, it typically focuses on the realization that one's individual soul, Atman. See, and this is something I've dug into because I did a long time ago, because we're supposedly living like this, and there's not a single time written in human history, as we know, even stuff that's locked up, where it shows that we're living this way. While often compared to Buddhist enlightenment, it typically focuses on the realization that one's individual soul of Atman, Adam, get it, is one with the ultimate reality, divine essence, Brahman. This is very important because Atman is a very important thing. What is this? It's the opposite of Legion, and that's how I found it when I was studying Christianity and the belief in Revelations. This was literally brought up as an argument point for Christianity beliefs that, well, that's what Legion would be, but man lives under Atman theory. And I said, we've never lived like this. What are you talking about? I can't find anywhere in history where we lived peacefully. You know what I mean? Not even in separate nations. Like, nations within themselves have always been at war inside their own nations. You know what I mean? The United States has so many different, like, there used to be wars here, but there hasn't been a war in the U.S. like that in a long time. Where there's like, oh my gosh, look at all the bloodshed. And everybody has their own little belief here, you know. That's a freedom here to believe whatever you want, I guess, in the United States. And everybody just, you know, goes on their day. Work, work, work. Tax, tax, tax. Blah, blah, blah. But this is a very important thing. Well, let's hit, what is this? In Hindu philosophy, Atman refers to the eternal, unchanging essence or true self of a living being, which means believing in yourself, right? Often translated as soul. Realizing that you have a soul. It is considered distinct from the temporary physical body, the mind, and the ego. Right. The ego is the same as the mind. So this is where they get it wrong, right? Because you can't have ego without the mind. So they're missing the true meaning. They don't need to add this. This doesn't need to be here. This is from Wikipedia, though, so I'm not throwing it with a grain of salt. It doesn't need to have ego. Ego is part of the mind, which translates into the physical body by action. I guess how you can control the mind with your spirit or soul or whatever you want to call it. It all depends on how your physical outcome is, right? Make sense? Makes sense to me. Alright. The divine analogy. Common metaphor describes the body as a vehicle and the Atman as the driver who moves from one car life to another through reincarnation. See, now this is really wrong. Because this is a whole different God. Who is this? See, you can't. Eternal and imperishable. It is neither born nor does it die. It survives the death of the physical body. Distinct from ego. While the ego, Amakara, or Hamakara, or Hamkara, or however you pronounce this, identifies with temporary labels like name, gender, or social status. The Atman is the pure witnessing consciousness behind those thoughts. Distinct from ego. This right here is a whole different... They're combining two different religions, and this is the problem that I've been seeing the pattern in, because this is not... This whole reincarnation, life into another, who moves from one car life to another through reincarnation. What does that mean? Reincarnation of what? Being born into another body? Through rituals? Like, the thing is everything seems like it has some of the truth in it, and then boom, something related to Moloch is thrown in here. This is the real ideology, to a certain extent, if you understand what this all means. I do. But this right here doesn't belong here. You either believe this, or this is part of another... It's reincarnation. It means dying and being born again. What's dying? And how are you being reborn? Explain this, the driver analogy. The driver? The body as a vehicle and the Atman as the driver move life to another through reincarnation. Is this word the right description to use? I don't know. I feel like this isn't. This is a thing. And people aren't ready for all that, are they? The technology's not even there to do that yet. You know what I mean? You don't understand that. And it's not a technology. That's what it is. Might require some technology to do this, but it's not exactly a technology. You know what I mean? It already exists. You just don't understand. But it doesn't have to do with dying or anything like that. It's not It's not considered reincarnation. It's not supposed to be. And this is where the reincarnation problem becomes a factor with like Moloch and Baal. Molokai. Alright. And ego, I would just say ego is the hidden one. distinct from ego. These are two, one and the same. And the Atman and Brahman are distinct. The individual soul is eternally separate from the Supreme Being and seeks a close relationship with God rather than a total merger. Relationship with Brahman teaches that Atman and Brahman are identical. The perceived separation is an illusion, Maya. This is going back further now. This is Mayan, right? Maya? Once a person realizes their Atman is actually Brahman, they'll achieve liberation, moksha. Let's see what this is, what this means. What is this? See the description of it. This is Indian philosophy. Moksha, Sanskrit for release or liberation, is the ultimate goal of human existence, freedom from samsara, down the cycle of birth and death and rebirth. Okay, this makes a lot of sense. This makes a lot of sense, okay? And this is the thing about, if you want to say, oh, what are people here for? I mean, that's the ultimate question of why you want to be here, I guess. Right? Does that make sense? That might make some sense. Individually or as a whole, you know? Or as an asshole. Or a together asshole. Causing a legion of assholes. And confusion. Let's keep reading into this, because this right here has, just this opening right here, it does, this is a strong belief, the endless cycle to get released or liberation. Indian philosophy. What is the central concept? Several faiths. See, and this is where it gets, right here should be more than enough. Like, if you believe this is what you believe. What is all this in Hinduism? And look at, now there's a whole bunch of different ones. It causes chaos. This is a legion within one belief. Because this right here is one belief, right? This is one belief. And this has to do with death and recycle, right? So this is it. This is their belief. Samsara. Whatever samsara is. Samsara. Alright. The goal is the state where the individual soul, Atman, realizes true nature, many traditions, unites with ultimate reality. The experience it is described as a state of internal bliss, supreme peace, and infinite knowledge. Okay, this is sounding experience. Paths to attainment, Bhagavad Gita outlines three main paths. Margus. The path of knowledge of self-realization, the path of loving devotion to personal God, the path of selflessness, action without attachment to results. Janison. Soul shedding all karma, which Jains believe in a physical substance that weighs down the soul. The path achieved with three jewels: right faith, right knowledge, and right conduct. I believe, like, I don't know, like, these two, all this right here should be up here too. Because this is part of this. To unlocking yourself. For everyone who's like, oh, I'm a chosen. You guys see these chosen one videos and stuff? I'm trying to make monopoly out of this chosen one thing now. The thing about the whole chosen one thing, if you're trying to seek any knowledge, trying to unlock your mind, whatever you wish to call it, sin, unconsciousness, who you actually are. You should combine these two down here with up here. So far. This doesn't need to be in here. This doesn't need to be in here. You could replace this with these two. The experience shouldn't be right here. We should put this down at the bottom. This is all in one thing, which I guess you could call it a trinity, because there's three. But do you understand this? Does anyone understand this? I mean, I understand everything, but to explain it to one, it all depends on who that is. But the thing is not one person can get you there. The only person that can actually get you to that point is you. And walk in the ways of the one that already knows, or the ones, or the chosen ones. Walk in their ways and try to learn from how they walk, I guess. Just like it's written in almost every religion, people having, oh, I have followers. And this is the thing, you guys went into this digital age where they tried to turn this, what I'm doing right now, into the whole scripture of, well, I'm going to be like them. Everyone that is like here doing this is putting on a show usually. Like, most people can't come out here and just be themselves, especially during a live stream. Or without a team whispering in their ears. You know what I'm saying? Yoga. Is this yoga? Is this like you got to do yoga in order to get here? I would say that this right here, if you were to converge this and compare it to, like, if anyone here is a different religion, we should open this in a different page. Like, say if you're a Christian and you take out the key focus of Jesus as your Savior and you're trying to get closer to God or yourself, or just talking to God, try to practice this. Incorporate it into speaking to Jesus. But I'm not saying push your beliefs on other people. I mean, that's up to you to decide what you believe in based on what you believe in, I guess. I mean, that's your choice. So many different people with so many different damn opinions. Let's keep reading this. Right faith, right knowledge, and right conduct. I feel like this is irrelevant. It doesn't even explain anything. The total purification of the soul by shredding all karma, which Jains believe is a physical substance that weighs down the soul. Not really sure. That doesn't sound very explanatory, does it? All karma? Shedding all karma? The goal. 2. Total purification of the soul. How do you do that? Become totally purified. Don't you just become energy at that point? Is that what them light balls are running around? People that believe in this? Because that's the only thing I could think. The light orbs. This doesn't sound right to me. Buddhism. While the term moksha is used, Buddhism more commonly uses nirvana. The goal of the blowing out of the fires of desire, hatred, and ignorance. Key differences. Unlike Hinduism, Jainism, Buddhism teaches anatta, non-self, meaning there is no permanent soul to be liberated. Rather, it is a cessation of the cycle of suffering itself. This is the thing, you know, and this is why I said this should have never got branched out, because this should all be in one belief system. Because and then minimize to the point where it gets straight to the point. But taking in the concept that there's still Where is it? This. The driver of Atman. This is a wrong description of Atman theory. This should not be in here. This does not belong in the Atman theory. It can't. You can't believe in reincarnation. That's like dark. Reincarnation? Recycle? In what context does that mean? Like, they need to have this. The ego and the mind is the same thing. This whole the whole description of this Atman is wrong, because you can't say, oh, the mind and the ego, because the mind produces the ego, right? Egotistical. Only you can think that way, which comes from the mind. Mind is sin. How you use the sin is on you. Do you use it for good? Do you use it for bad? Do you pick from knowledge to use from anything? Or to complain? Or to make money? Or to spread truth? Do you pick from knowledge? Because this ain't knowledge. This is just seeing either what's wrong, or what's being hidden, or what you can learn, I guess. But all this right here is wrong. There's a lot of stuff in here that doesn't need to be in here. While the ego identifies with temporary labels like temporary? What does that mean? Name, gender, or social states. The Atman is the pure witnessing consciousness behind those thoughts. The Atman. The driver analogy. A common metaphor. Describes the body as a vehicle and the Atman as the driver who moves from one car to another through reincarnation. It depends on what reincarnation is defined as, you know what I mean? Anyways. Stresses the equality of all humans and devotion to one God. One God considered like one creator God, or one creator deity? What do you mean by that? Sikhism. A lot of this is just gibberish, and it's turned into more gibberish because they couldn't explain it, so they tried to explain it some more. That's the thing. You can't if you can't explain something that's there, and then you try to explain it and make it longer. How is that explaining it? That's not explaining it. That's making it even more confusing, trying to explain it even further. Which means you're doing a terrible job at translating whatever you're translating based off what man wrote and what he thought and what he thought he saw or thought. That's the thing. The people that wrote these things that they're transcribing, there's not a whole lot of, knowledge by what they're being given to even use to make a fucking religion or theoretical opinion or idea or belief or whatever the case may be. But I wanted to check into a couple different people, because a lot of different people around here, and they're kind of, I guess you would say they're famous, or if they're popular, they got a lot of followers. And I'm a non-profit channel. I don't make any money doing this. It's all free, baby. It's self-funded. So, in different ways. Uh, so, who I want to check into, let's say, I saw a thing about Nick Fuentes. We are going to talk about him. Because I think he needs to just hush his mouth until he learns how to use his own mind to pick truth over what's popular. Because I feel like he's just a rabbit jumping around, like, excited to be on someone's team, you know. And the thing is he's embarrassing himself. He's young, and I don't think he's actually experienced enough in life to have that ideology or mindset to actually. I think he's been focused on too much same thing, same topic area for too long. He's programmed into it. He's programmed into the system, knowing too much about the system, if that makes any sense. So, but he is open to his core beliefs of what he does, right? But he's inconsistent by what his core belief is because it's not his belief, it's someone else's. Like when he was on the Trump bandwagon. When Trump won back in 2016, I told everybody I knew he's going to expose everything. They're like, yeah, that's what you want. I was like, no, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the government. I mean everything. The Matrix. He's going to expose everything. And he did it by messing up terribly. Because the people running the show are just... They're not very bright, are they? I don't think they are. It shows that they aren't. But anyways. And him, he's not running shit. He's just an actor. Every president that's ever ran has been an actor. And if they don't comply, you know, they end up like, they gotta comply. And lately, it seems like the president's just blackmailed all the time so that they do comply. But then it seems like all of them are in and on it anyway. So you pick which side not to pick. I pick me. I don't know about y'all. Me and God. Me, myself, and I. Okay, let's check into, and I got nothing against anyone, but I'm going to tell it like it is. And if you don't like it, I don't care. I really don't. I'm going to tell it like it is. You can agree, not agree, but unless you speak some truth about how it is, then it doesn't really matter. Or a strong principle to back up what you're thinking. I don't want to hear what someone else said or did and you believe it, because everybody's been wrong thus far. Everyone. All of you. You still aren't. Or you're still fumbling around, or you know something, but you're like, well, I'm going to drag this out and make some money off of it. To have that mindset's stupid. That's worshiping, that's like evil to me. I don't know. I feel like that's evil. It's entertainment, and That's all I got to say. If that's how your mindset is, I don't know. That's not news. That's entertainment. Don't talk about real life stuff if that's how you're going to do it. Stuff that actually affects people's lives and well-being and truth. If that's how your mindset is, go join the entertainment industry. Like, news and life-related incidents should not be entertainment. It already is. History's been turned into entertainment. It's turned into movies, TV shows, all kinds of crap. And then some of them you're like, this is reality. And then people try to live like that. And you're like, this don't work. Of course it don't. Because that's an act. That's why most actors and actresses, you see them personally, you don't. Or if you see them, they don't like anybody. They don't like themselves. They don't like anything. Or they're part of the club that you ain't part of. And if you notice, everybody that's in this club is old. The ones that run the show. And you guys all worship this money. Fake money. Hey, money, 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 money. It's paper. There's nothing in there that counts. Nothing. If you didn't make it, you didn't make it. Better go collect gold with that fake money. Something that's valuable, you know. I don't mean something like this. I mean just like this. You know, the only place where that's a market at is here in the United States. You know what I mean? It's the only place on earth that's a market at is here. People in other countries aren't collecting crap like that. You got time for that crap. I'm not saying it's bad to own stuff. I'm just saying, gosh. There's just too much free money floating around. You know what I mean? And there's people that, like, don't know what's going on, need to know what's going on, struggling, surviving. And the ones running the show, like, I don't know. Americans don't really have it that bad. Like, if it was honest with everybody, then it'd be different. But it's not, so. But another person I want to check into is the Prophecies. 2026 Prophecies. Prophecies. Let's go over here. What is Google 2026 Prophecies? There. Prohibited list. What does that mean? Let's go jump over the AI. Nostradamus. They're gonna bring up this dude, really. Really? Poetic quatrains allegedly predicting future events. I read his books when I was little. We learned about him in school. In my school, we did. School I went to. I don't know about you guys, but he was part of our history class. When I was in, I don't remember what grade it was, but we did. We learned about him. Because doesn't he look like he should be on some money? Right here, he looks like a bill, doesn't he? Why? Did he used to be on a bill? Alright, so great swarm of bees, quatrain 126 mentions a great swarm of bees rising. Some interpret this as a rise of specific political ideologies or the hive mind of certain regimes. Global conflicts interpretations hint as a 7 months great war and potential clashes between East and the West, sometimes linked to the Roman god of war, Mars. So, what does that mean? Roman god of wars, Mars. I have to check into Mars. That's the Romans? Is that their ideology? Man of light. A more positive reading suggests the rise of a new leader who will guide the world toward a better path. That's the message I be pushing right here. On all my platforms, there's a divinity that's boy. But I've walked in the darkness to know the light. And I know the darkness. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. It has to make sense. Because you can't have light without darkness. If not, it's just white. which is light, right? Which is blind. Blinded by the light. You gotta know how to balance the two, right? Or use one, you know? And that's the thing. Natural disasters predictions include rivers of blood, a plague of bees, and a prominent figure being struck down by a thunderbolt. Prominent figure being struck down by a thunderbolt. What do you guys think that might be? Prominent figure being struck down by a thunderbolt. Is that the reset? There's the reset. The reset was predicted this year. Do you see this? Huh. Natural disasters. Let's check into this thunderbolt theory. Numerology 2026 equals 10. 1 plus 1 equals. See, this is all binary code to like do coding. See? Is considered a universal year. This is often interpreted as a year of rebirth, fresh starts, and a major reset in leadership and personal responsibility. Zodiac outlook. Astrology forecast suggests a year of steady progress, clarity following early confusion, with major transits by Jupiter and Venus bringing favorable shifts. Extraterrestrial conduct. Some channelers, such as Bashar, have predicted an increase in UFO sightings throughout 2026, leading up to formal induction to ETs. Major milestone on a practical level, 2026 marks the United States 250th anniversary. Sesquicentennial. Some of these words I'm seeing for the first time. Okay. Of independence on July 4th. Are you looking for a specific type of prophecy, such as biblical analysis or a zodiac forecast for your sign? No, not really. It's just ways to warp your mind into thinking that way. We don't want to check into any of that. Once we got to here, it really just didn't need to be read, to be honest. I want to know about this thunderbolt. Prophecies. Specifically, it is found Century 1, Quadrant 26. The great man will be struck down in the day by a thunderbolt, an evil deed foretold by the bearer of the petition, according to the prediction of another. Lost found, hidden for so long, will be pastor and demigod honored when the moon ends its great century. Foist galleys around 7 ships, and mortal war will be let loose for the another way believers argue for 2026 is numerology. Let's read over here. Political or coup. The most common view is the thunderbolt is a metaphor for a sudden shocking event such as a gunshot or a political overthrow that removes a world leader, monarch, or head of state from power. Celebrity death, great man, technological, all this stuff is happening right now, isn't it? I guess that's what we're doing. I don't know. Even a nuclear event, which appears like a bolt from the sky. Let's see how many he did. How many bolt things. The great fire of London, the blood of the just will commit a fault at London, burnt through lightning of 23 the 6th. This is frequently interpreted as the Great Fire of London in 1666. The 23s, the 6 is often read this. Total count and nature of bolts. Assassination. I don't know anything about this guy, but they're either predicting their own future based on him and using his coding to basically predict what they're doing with AI, because we did an AI video about how old AI was. I forgot to go live on YouTube, so I'll post the video later. The Big Fix. Spiritual and religious declarations. Kenneth Copeland has declared 2026 the big year, a year of the Big Fix, suggesting a season where God restores what is broken on both a global and personal scale. Blessing of dominion. Other ministries characterize 2026 as a year of dominion. Okay, let's jump over to here. Now, for Nick, for instance, Nick. Let's get rid of these. Let's go back to you. Now, if you can Google this guy, Nick Fuentes. Right, he's famous, I guess. Famous in what aspect? He's famous to you guys. I know of him, I guess he is famous, right? Nick Fuentes, but he's famous for all the wrong reasons, right? He hasn't done anything great for anybody or himself. He just seems confused. So what is he famous for? Causing chaos, spreading confusion. Nick Fuentes is an American far-right political commentator. While white nationalists, sorry, that's what it's labeling you as. If you're not, sorry, I don't know. White nationalist and streamer known for leading the Groyper movement. What is this? What is this? Groyper? That sounds gross. Groyper refers to a loosely defined network of far-right white nationalists and Christian nationalist activists who follow the political commentator. They follow him? He's their leader? The movement is characterized by politics as fandom structure, where personal loyalty to Fuentes is often the primary defining feature. So that's Nick's their god? Their Groyper god? Is that what it's saying? That's what it sounds like. They're fanboys of Nick. And Nick was a fanboy of Trump, but he's not anymore, so what's... Nick doesn't have his own personal ideology, that's the thing. Defining feature. Where personal loyalty to Fuentes, we're going to jump into Fuentes here in a second. I'm not trying to bash him. I'm just, like I said, I'm going to point out exactly how he is. Because I've seen a lot of his clips over the years. And he's part of the system. The system's a problem in its entirety. So he knows the system. That's all he knows. And all of his beliefs and all of his ways of thinking is the system. Unless he uses the system as an argument point, he doesn't have an argument point. Because he doesn't think for himself, right? That's with anybody. The army followers often call themselves the Groyper Army. This is all Wikipedia. The meme, the name is derived from Groper, a cartoon amphibian meme that is this thing? This is stupid. I'm not saying anybody's stupid, but this is dumb looking. What is that? Is that Slimer from Ghostbusters? Like, what is this? Obese Slimer? I don't know. Pep the Frog. Pee-Pee the Frog. Like, everybody's so immature, and then when shit hits the fan, and then they're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. White nationalism, the advocate for the preservation of America's white demographic core, and strongly oppose multiculturalism and non-white immigration, Christian nationalism. Movement centers on traditional Christian, often Catholic values, and believes the U.S. should be a Christian nation. Hostility toward conservative Inc. A defining tactic is attacking mainstream conservatives such as Ben Shapiro, the late Charlie Kirk. So he's attacking people from. I've seen Nick, like, he talks a lot about Israel, and there's a lot of stuff that Nick says when he starts rambling off, where he does make a lot of ground points of something that he heard or something that he found looking up, because he targets areas that he just personally doesn't like. And that's okay and fine and dandy, but don't learn how to do it the right way, or learn how to find the actual corruption and then do it peacefully and expose it, I guess. But he doesn't do that. He doesn't understand anything, I don't think. How could he? He's been a fanboy his whole life, ever since he was a teenager. He talks about it all the time. He's a fanboy of the system. He loves the system. I don't like the system. The system's garbage. Doesn't make any sense. Contradicts and that's the other thing too. He claims to be religious. Like, he uses, everyone wants to use religion as a standing point. I'm not a fan of that either. I want to be done with that as well. So, but we'll talk about it. Let's talk about it, because we can talk about the truth of it to whoever. It doesn't matter. Yeah, especially here in America. It's just skulls and bones. Will break your feelings. Oh well. Truth will set you free. Groper Wars refers to a series of coordinated campaigns starting in 2019. Also, they started when Epstein passed away. What a coinkydink. So are they mad that Epstein's gone? Didn't he say something jovial about Epstein? Didn't he have an opinion where he was like trying to push an argument? I don't know. I'd have to check. I don't want to point any fingers that is false information unless I see it. You know what I mean? Or hear it from them personally in front of me. Or how their body language is. Hostility toward conservative Inc., a defining tactic. View as too moderate, pro-Israel, or cucked by the establishment. We're not going to talk about Charlie because he's gone. Okay? His organization was, he was his organization. Him and him only. And the fact that it's still around, I don't know. It's like they're just... How do you replace someone's mindset? You can't. No, can you? Even the people that, like, I don't know. Unless they're truly linked to that one person. And who exactly was Charlie? I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about him, but he was a tool to the system as well. He pushed narratives for the system and got paid for it. Took money for it. He sold out. He sold his soul. Sold your soul. Physically, in all aspects, he did. And mainstream infiltration. His followers hide Groyper. I don't know. I think I've probably said enough I needed to say about Nick to give my personal opinion about him. I think he needs to just be quiet until he learns how to think for himself and instead of listening to other people around him or watching some stuff, instead of using the system to try to think about how it should be, how about you just give your personal opinion based on what you are and who you are? Who are you? That's the thing. Who is anybody? I don't think anybody knows who they are. I think they're too busy trying to be told what to be and who they are, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, like I said, I don't want to really bash anybody, but I'm going to tell it like it is. Because that's how it is, buddy. Okay, let's check out our not coincidence. This was just yesterday. Should we check this out? Let's check it out. No, I didn't know, because it's not my commercial. So many AI ads. Okay, this is the interconnected zone. No story lives. No story lives unless someone wants to listen. Edgar Cayce predictions. Okay. This is going to be Edgar Cayce. Let's jump back. Okay. We're going to jump around with all these topics, but we're going to try to figure out what's going on. Edgar Cayce. Edgar Cayce. Okay. Edgar Cayce. I spelled his name totally wrong. Let's jump back real quick. A specialized carrying case. Oh, let's see. Gotta be specific. American clairvoyant known as the Sleeping Prophet, for his ability to provide thousands of psychic readings while in self-induced trance. He is widely considered the father of modern holistic medicine and a founding influence on the New Age movement. We're going to keep him open, okay? Just because. See what he's got to say. See what he's got to say. But we're going to check out this channel. All credit goes to these people, okay? Like I said, I'm a non-profit channel, and my videos are, non-profit is what it is. But we're going to check out their video. If you want to give them a like, whatever, go ahead. Now, is this going to be their opinion, or is this just information that they're providing? That's what I want to know. Two prophets, 4 centuries apart, yet they describe the same future. What happens when the visions of Nostradamus, the mystery frontier of the 1500s, are compared with the trance readings of Edgar Cayce, the sleeping prophet of the 20th century? Now, Edgar Cayce, when was he alive? How old is he? 1942 biography. His popularity surged with the... Where's this guy from? Such a blurry, shitty picture, isn't it? He died in 1945. 67. Cause of death. He had a stroke. Were they putting him under sleep, under void, and he was being hypnotized under sleep? Because this is what it sounds like. That's what it kind of sounds like. You guys give me your opinion on that. It sounds like he was being. It says right here he was. It is reported that Case predicted his own death 4 days before it occurred. He basically got warned. Somebody was doing this to him. He wasn't just doing. He collapsed from exhaustion. Sounds like I don't know. Sounds like a lot of people were getting passed away around this. His health had been steadily declining due to physical exhaustion or work. Key details surrounding his death include this. Let's jump back. I don't want to do his cause of death. Okay. The Sleeping Prophet. I'm gonna check out this video here. I gotta go use the bathroom real quick. Restroom time. I'll Shelbyton. And we'll jump back into this and we'll check out Edgar Casey. Edgar Case. Because he's a prophet, right? Prophet. why I'm doing this. I'm going to show you guys the AI video. I'm gonna download it real quick. It'll only take like 1 minute. I got really fast stuff going on. I'm gonna let this play so you guys can see the truth about AI. Let's look at this first. Because we read what Google told us he was, okay? And I don't know Nick personally. You know, I just know what I see him say and blah blah blah. Here's PBD. PBD. Yeah. This show right here. They don't know the truth either. They're just, he did this with Tucker, right? This is news. Four months ago. This is all old, right? 2026. They would try to get me. Hitting ghosts. He's making predictions. Let's see what he has to say. This is not my video or advertisements. This is hitting ghosts. Whoever this is. It's probably Nick. Who knows? I don't know. Don't know. Don't care. We're gonna... Or this is this guy's. I don't want to watch his video. This is his video. Liberty Vault. Let's watch this maybe. No, I don't want to watch someone else's podcast. But we'll watch the news. Speak against wall. It's hard to watch any news or anything. He's just very flip-floppy with who he picks to support. Like, he doesn't really support himself. I'm gonna check out Hidden Ghost. It's this guy's here. Okay, we're gonna do a reaction to his reaction to Nick. All right. Let's see what Nick has to say about chilling 2026 predictions. He said some Groiper veneer. What? Groiper veneer. Who's he talking about? Does he? I don't know if he does. This guy doesn't seem to be reacting, is he? He hasn't said anything. What is he talking about? Like, we're a minute in and he has skipped it. Yes, we know this. Oh my goodness. He's talking about stuff that everyone already knows. Like, no shit. Nick's an opponent for what? How is he an opponent to what? See, this is what I'm talking about. Nick is part of the problem and part of the system. The system on both sides is corrupt and compromised. It has been for a very long time. The whole system needs to be redone. Okay? That's what I'm pushing for. A whole rewriting of the system. Because this one doesn't make any sense. And it contradicts the Bible. So many different ways. Everything's an issue here. It's old, outdated, and the system itself here is someone else's system, ideology. Who is he talking about? He's Republican. You know? Are they talking about J.D. Vance? He just sounds like a little kid having a temper tantrum about something that he saw his parents do. He still thinks his vote matters. It's just cute. Like, how old is this? Who's saying this? Where's the prediction? I can't even... He didn't even say anything. He's not saying anything. No shout out to you, buddy. False. Like 10-minute video? Come on. 13-minute video? Like, how about no? How about no tongues? Who is Nick Fuentes? Boom. Chaos over white nationalists. Who is Nick Fuentes? What's the Holocaust have to do with him? Wasn't here. Who cares what his opinion is on that? He wasn't alive for it. You know? That's the past. Get on with it. Should horrify us all. Why? I just think he's a kid that doesn't have his own beliefs. Super rich too. A lot of wealthy families live there. A little. I like how everybody defaults like, I grew up in Chicago. Did you grow up in downtown Chicago? Or did you just grow into the Chicago regional area, and you're just saying, I'm in Chicago? Doesn't really matter, but this is because of immigration. There's two flags right there. Free Palestine. These people's, I don't know. Who are these people? Damn it. Anyways. Why is everyone calling him a white supremacist? What does he believe in? So he's Catholic? Let's just look this guy up real quick. Because it said he's a goyim, whatever that's supposed to mean. Nicholas J. Fuentes. His beliefs. Christian nationalist. He said he was Catholic. Sparked a civil war within the Republican Party. Why would it do that? I don't particularly think that getting on Tucker Carlson's show is that thing to brag about. I mean, I have my own opinion about how he acts. I don't know if he's putting on an act to play stupid or if he's just childish or if his mindset's that pure at, I don't know. Don't know him personally, so it's different. But I did watch the interview between him and Tucker, and if he is putting on an act, why didn't Nick confront him? But I know Nick was like, yeah, this, that, and he was like playing the fence. Because he doesn't really have his own opinion about anything. He doesn't. I guarantee you he comes online and comes on here and he Googles, I had an interview. What happened? What do you think it is? And AI was probably like, that means you're doing well, buddy. You're doing well, buddy. You're doing fantastic. Okay. There's another person too. Oh my gosh. He doesn't even say anything worth listening to me. So what is it? What is this video for? Why does this video even exist? Can't even. Well, he didn't even say nothing. This video pushes no narrative or message at all. What's his ideology? Because I see him hanging out with all these people. Alright, let me, says... jump over here. His ideology is rooted in white nationalism, Christian nationalism, and anti-Semitism. What? That's not a belief. Anti-Semitism isn't a belief, is it? He describes his movement as America First, a platform that promotes a racialized and exclusionary vision of American identity. American Jewish Committee. That's who reports that. It's kind of funny that's who reports him. The supporters are known as the Groypers. Okay. That's what it said earlier. He seeks to reshape the U.S. into a formal Christian nation. Catholic Taliban rule. He believes the government and society should be structured around exclusionary Christian and traditionalist values. Anti-Semitism. Fuentes is a documented Holocaust denier who frequently promotes conspiracy theories about Jewish power and Jewish subversion. He also argued that Jews have no place in Western civilization because they are not Christian. Oh my goodness. You can tell Nick doesn't know anything. He has no beliefs. He's just following tail. He's a sheep. Confused little lamb. Not even a sheep, full-blood sheep. He's just running around as a baby. Wolves are like, he ain't grown up yet. He ain't fat enough yet. We'll wait till he gets bigger. Because he's flip-flopping. He's like this. 1 minute he likes Trump, next minute he don't. I don't know. I don't think he knows. Because he doesn't have his own ideas. Calls himself a reactionary and aims to move the Republican Party away from mainstream conservatism and toward a more extreme authoritarian future. This includes opposition to feminism, blah, blah, blah. More labeling. Misogyny. His worldview often includes the subject subjugation of women. He has called for women to be disfranchised and was a key figure behind the viral Your Body, My Choice rhetoric following the 2024 election. I don't know what that has to do with anything. I honestly think that none of you guys have a choice over your bodies. It's your body, their ownership and choice for you to be a slave to their system of problematic stupidity that's, I think, been AI based this entire fucking time. Predetermined. How's it gonna work? Let's see if AI can do it. We already went over what that was. It's not artificial intelligence, people. Don't ever think it is. Because it's not. It's general relatively fucking thinking. That's what it is. And right now, it's really, really corrupt. Because they keep changing it to push narratives that they want to be seen and pushed. Fuentes leads a network of young, mostly male followers known as the Groypers. We're the Groypers, man. Irony memes like a variant of Peep the Frog, internet trolling to mass extreme views and infiltrate mainstream conservative spaces. Entryism. Is that what that means? He encourages his followers to influence the Republican Party from the inside rather than through a separate organization. What? Under the radar to avoid detection and deplatforming. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. They got him set up like he's somebody important and he's not. The Tucker Carlson network, which garnered 20 million views and sparked a civil war within the Republican Party. Yeah, both parties are just... I don't like either one of them. How about that? How about I don't like the entire thing, and I can expose the entire thing if you guys really want to, because I already know the truth. And I'm just slowly dishing it out. But there's people out here that are not extreme with their own beliefs, pushing someone else's belief, I guess you would say. Oh, this is someone else's channel. But anyways, yeah, and just like this dude. See one of the Groypers? Who are the Groypers? Generation Z. The group is named after Groyper, the damn frog, the moment it flourished on platforms like this, and this. America First, white and Christian. Doesn't say who they are. Who are they? Why is it showing this guy if it says they broke ties and they're not friends? Top Lieutenant Patrick Casey, formerly a top lieutenant leader of the American Identity Movement. Formerly Identity E.V. Ropa. He was a key organizer for the early Groyper Wars, but split from Fuentes. Everybody split from him. So who is this Groypers? I don't really understand what a groiper is. It's just him and a frog. There is a lot of stuff that Nick says that is truth, but he always has to lean on the system in order to back up what he's saying, and that's terrible. You can't. Like, I'll pick the system apart. Like a velociraptor stalking its sheep. Anyways. For AFPAC? What's AFPAC? What's AFPAC? Why has everything got to be an acronym? America First Political Action Conference. It's founded by Nick Fuentes. Who funds this thing? Dark money donations. What does that mean? I mean, I don't really. Yeah. He's linked to Bitcoin. That explains it all. From a French programmer? Yeah, that really explains it all. He doesn't even understand who's his. Like, he doesn't understand anything, does he? Defend Texas Liberty Pack? I got an issue with this state, too. We'll talk about them later. Way later. They're petty. Look at this. Family donations. Gutierrez. Record of donations. Yeah, but he messes with crypto. Anybody that messes with crypto is just fake. They think they got money because they did crypto. The thing is anybody who thinks that money makes you important to have an opinion, it doesn't. Okay? It doesn't. It just means that you know how to manipulate the system in order to get money. Good for you. Money is pretty much worthless. It's made out of paper. Wow, you can buy stuff with it. What are you going to do with it all? Look at it. Brag about it. Try to get people to look at your stuff because you don't even enjoy using it. Or you're scared of using it because you might tear it up. No one of you understand how living actually is. Worship the wrong shit. And then you want to talk about God. Money is your God. That's how you got whatever you worship and talk about, that's what your God is. And most of you, it's the mark. The mark of money. Forced in your face. Right? That's the way I look at it. I'm done talking about this guy. I think he's very immature and he needs to learn who he is before he tries to do anything politically or monumentally leading wise, because he doesn't even lead his own ideas. Let's check out one of his arch rivals, right? Oh, a Civil War. Attila, why? Let's see what this is. Alright, let's go back real fast. Well, how long was this? This is 4 months ago. I don't want to do that. Now, old Benny boy. And Nick doesn't really have an ideology. That's the thing. I don't consider it an ideology or anything like that. So, and it's not his own. He's just piggybacking off a bunch of shit from the past. Yeah, that doesn't work, buddy. The past is an example of what not to do. You pick you pick from the tree of knowledge to learn from mistakes made, not to go back and retry them. You know what I mean? That's sin. You're picking from sin of knowledge. And he got stupid, right? He's an idiot. And he's still following someone else's idea. Create your own, buddy. Dividing America's conservatives. I don't really understand what the whole Groyper thing is. But Ben Shapiro, Benny boy. This is his arch rival. This is his arch rival. Versus. Who should we... Ben Shapiro's beliefs. Or better yet, here. Let's do Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes. 2 days ago, he's saying impeach people now. See, he doesn't... He was just a fanboy of Trump, and now he's just... Jing. Look at him. He's so over-exaggerant. This is how a child acts. Put on a show, puppet. Anyways. And he still, like, loves the system. He's like, Trump, I love Trump. Trump's part of the problem, too. He's a partaker. He's participator. Big time problem. False Messiah, Simpson pushing his ass. That's ridiculous. Come on. That's ridiculous. That's so ridiculous. It's pathetic, too. Do a TV show? Come on. Cut that shit. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do, PayPal. Ben Shapiro. He's I guess he loves Israel. He's a Jew. He's got fake eyebrows. Or he doesn't have fake eyebrows. He shaves them. Like hair. Like, I guess he gets a eyebrow cut. Because people were talking shit about his eyebrows. I don't really care what his eyebrows look like. The fact that he does, right? The fact that he cares about his eyebrows look like to the point where he does that, because he does have some, like, I don't know. They look fake to me. They don't look real. He might, I think if he let his shit grow out, it would look like this. What do you guys think? I'm not really trying to make fun of anybody. But, I don't know. I know that he literally gets them cut with, like, clippers. But, who cares about what his face or his eyebrows look like? It's about what's in his mind and in his heart, I guess, right? And the thing is he's fully endorsed and he's fully. I don't really want to check into his shit. He's fully into the puppetology. Like, he's Israel first. But that's Nick's, oops. I didn't mean to do that, man. No. Let's go to YouTube. YouTube. Doobie-doo. Alright, let's. What did he say? Let's see what these guys see what Trump had to say. Shout out to the Cartier family. This is their video. This is them. Look at Trump. Oh my gosh. You know, he knows about everything. I don't even want to discuss Trump. Oh, Andrew Tate. Yes, let's talk about Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate. Mr. Tatey Tate. He's been kind of quiet. This is real. I don't know. People are childish. I already knew this. If they're talking about Sneeko, yeah, he is 100%. Swings both ways. And Piers Morgan as well. Is he crying? That's probably an AI thumbnail. I don't know. I don't care. Don't care. Look at him back in the way day. There's Mr. Andrew Tate. Mr. Andrew Tate. What's he talking about? Why do you gotta have all this music? What's he crying about? I know all he does is talk about the bullshit he has. He's got a bunch of shit and money and he still plays the victim card. That's his problem. Like, he wants people to worship what he has and he doesn't even care about it. And then he's like, I don't care about it. Then why do you want other people to care about it? Like, that doesn't make any sense at all. You literally say I don't care about it, and then you go ahead and brag about it. You're the only one talking about it. You gotta care about it. You got it. It's your stuff. It's part of you. It's part of your worship. You don't worship God. You worship your. You know, he never talks about his religion or his faith of what God is to him. No. He'll say, "Oh, I'm this," and claim a title of false religious beliefs written by man, and then, you know what I mean? He doesn't tell you who God is, what his relationship is with God, or any of that shit. None of these guys do. Andrew Tate's relationship. Let's see, relationship with God. Jesus, God. Andrew Tate talks about God with George Janko. This dude right here is just a dur. Sucking on his finger. Trust God's plan. All he does is talk about the stuff he owns. Talk about the stuff you've done for others or yourself to transform into a better person or to transform into your actual relationship with God. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to be a role model, but they don't want to be an actual role model. They just want to piggyback off of someone else that is not even here anymore. You know what I mean? I wonder if I can watch the. I don't think Tucker will care if I like watch one of his videos. I think Piers is. He's petty. I think he will. I don't know, maybe Tucker will. He claims he's supposed to be the main guy to get resources and news, and I should be able to use your stuff, buddy. I'm not even trying to make money off of it, you know what I mean? Did he not post his interview thing with him and Piers? We're going to I don't know. Tucker is kind of. Nick said he didn't trust him and he was weird. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. But Nick's programmed to the system, so maybe he would find him weird. I mean, everybody thinks I'm weird because of my way of thinking and presenting myself and how I speak. Everyone's always like, it's how you talk to people. It's how I talk to people? What does that mean? It's never the excuse of it's what you're saying. It's how you sound, I guess. It's wrong to sound a certain way. Let's go refill this coffee up. I'm gonna watch this. We're gonna watch this and have our reaction to it. See what it's about. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna take a quick little break and we shall return here in a second. We'll get back to it.